coding kind of topic. The reason why we put it at the end is just want to give you guys a background, right? We actually today we talk about GitHub. GitHub is a tool, right? I'll treat it as a tool, not so much about coding. It's just a tool for us to share the software that you created, right? For example, if you actually been through the coding for the past couple weeks, then what you actually experience is you started to write some of your Python code or R or what have you, right? And then they are actually, they can kind of work individually in a silo environment, but in a enterprise environment, we are actually doing a lot more than just a silo development, right? So what happened is you are actually going to share the code and review other people's code. And so today the session is actually using this particular tool to help us to navigate this kind of tool, right? So I basically, and also today the section is going to be interactive, I hope. And I promise it's going to be not going to be long because actually, for the GitHub, if you wanted to learn, that's a lot deeper than that. For those actually who have a lot of interest for that, when the moment you start to work with enterprise, environment, you will start to get used to it. But I mean, today it's probably like a quick intro to give you a glance on what's going on. So basically, we will start to look into GitHub. I just share. Let me do one more time. I just share. If you can go ahead and log into GitHub. It's actually github.com, right? So what you see, I'm gonna just go a little slow because actually assuming you don't have anything yet, right? So what you see once you log on, you should be able to see that this is a screen you're gonna have, right? I'm using a Mac, but I do believe a PC or Mac will have the same layout. And also the beauty about this is actually this is not a specific operation system driven, right? So when the moment you go to the web, it actually just go to the cloud that we started to share information. I don't know if it's a cloud or whatnot, right? But at the end, when the moment we share the information, it doesn't matter about what system that you use, right? So basically, please do log into GitHub. You can kind of try to sign up an account. I wish I already did my sign up part, right? So I'm gonna skip that, but I will give everybody like a 2-minute try to sign up. You can kind of use your personal, your school ID. Is doesn't really matter. So I mean, it's more like a lot of freedom. That what whatever the account you use. What I'll do also while away, right? I'm gonna give 2 minutes. Starting now, probably call 9:07. I also will follow up from that outline, right? We have a very short session today that we're going to go through some quick exercise. I hope I'm going to make it more fun, and I hope that I'm not going to make coding class a clothing class. I want to make it more interesting because the takeaway is I want everybody to get familiar with the environment and get a sense of what's going on, and then by the time if you kind of get used to it, you can kind of plug into your coding bit of it, right? And also start to interact and coordinate with your colleagues. So meanwhile, I do also want you guys to interact with me because actually assuming, I don't know how many that we have today, like, a handful, like, and if you can kind of interact with me, and then it will be a like a simulated like mini environment for that, right? So please do. Okay, so please do sign up. For those actually you have it, that's great. If not, then I'm gonna wait for 2 minutes. I'm gonna call at 9:07. I give you guys 2 minutes trying to sign up. Okay. Any question, just unmute. You can chat. I'm quite open with that. But it will be a little messy today, right? I mean, while we guys start to install, I'm gonna just kind of murmuring here. It will be a little messy because the way how I wanted to demonstrate. I'm actually using my long screen so that you'll be able to see. I'm gonna have a split screen so you can imagine I have two Justin. One is the left-hand side of Justin, one is the right-hand side of Justin, and then I will actually try to demonstrate to create a two environment. So you can see, although it is only me, but you can see two versions of it, right? So it will be messy. And then I started to also show you the step-by-step here based on the outline. While those of you actually, again, I'm still gonna just try to, make sure you guys ready. while you still install the GitHub.com, you can also go to desktop.github.com. So there's two versions of it. So one is actually just like a web version. The other version is connected directly with your desktop. So later on, I'm gonna jump into it, right? So just gonna give you some idea for those actually is ahead of the game. You can also download this, right? So that's .github.com. Okay, so I'm gonna get a minute or two. Okay, so I hope everybody okay. Please let me know if you're not ready. I can wait, but if you're ready, I think let's get started. Everybody, we all good? Okay, I suppose so. Okay, so let's see. Let's get started. So basically, now you actually, the first step, we create a GitHub account, right? You download the desktop, assumingly. If not, then don't worry about it. I'm gonna give you some break later on. So what you see, this is more the layout, right? So you will see, I'm gonna show two sides of me, as I mentioned, right? One is actually the left-hand side. You see I'm using a Columbia ID, right? Myself, the Columbia ID actually was Justin Han on that, right? I'm gonna put a logo on it. I'm gonna make it fancier, you know, like the frame actually more like a Columbia theme, right? On the right hand side, right? What you see on the screen is actually more my personal, right? This is on the darker side of it, right? That's the personal side of it. So now what you see here, I'm actually creating two different ID. I want to demonstrate an ID for you guys, right? I mean, I hope that you're able to see that. So what I'll do is, if you can follow through, there's a couple things that what we're gonna have the learning outcome on, right? First of all, I'm gonna create a brand new repository, right? What is repository? Imagine this is something like a folder, a floater in the cloud, right? This is actually the momentum outside the build. So you can also do the same. So let's do it together. What I'll do here is I'm gonna go. This is my front page. I mean, if you kind of for those actually, if you see, if you click onto it, they start to give you a lot of different kind of information that you have from your like all your exercise that you do. But I think that's not relevant. I'm gonna just give you a quick overview, right? So if you go over here, this is actually called repository. What you can do, there's a new button, or you see something like a plus button. So I mean, this is actually, we don't need to worry about your operation system, right? So it's, it can be Mac, can be on PC. So I'm going to hit new. Oops, I think they actually I do log out, so I'm going to log back on. Sorry about that. Log back in. Okay, so when the moment I actually click new, and then they come up to page on create new repository, right? So this is actually part of the new folder I just mentioned earlier. So assuming we are brand new here, we have no clue. Again, don't let's say it's okay with that. So now we don't have any template that we built. Well, obviously I have some template that we built before. We don't have any template. So first of all, I'm gonna create a new under a owner called Justin Han, which is under my name. So whatever the name you have will be under your name, right? And I'm going to start to create a repository name, right? So today I'm going to make it easier. I'm not going to be creative, so I'm going to put 0804. Oh, okay. They say 0804 is available, right? I'll say, hey, you know, this is actually my August 4th GitHub lesson, right? So once this description is this for optional, we don't necessarily will actually read through it because at the end most of the script will come through here. Just want to also give a little background about GitHub, right? GitHub, what we experience today is a nice GUI we call a graphical interface, right? And in general, if you actually do a lot of coding, you will started to use a lot of command, right? On calling the GitHub, but I'm going to show you as an intro, I'm going to show you a nice version of it. Once you actually get a sense, the scripting is just one of the parts that to trigger that, right? So don't worry about that much. So first step, I'm going to make it easier, right? I'm going to make it, everybody can, you know, I don't want to say attack me. Everybody, I'm going to create a folder. You can kind of put stuff in there, right? I'm just going to make it more interesting. So I'm going to make it public, right? And obviously the difference between public and private is if I hit private, right, it will become nobody can see it, right? But today we had a session for like good 10 of us. I'm just going to make it public, right? So everybody can easily get to it. So the difference between public and private is you know, you will be able to see this is actually more secure while this is actually everybody. So it depends on what you want, depends on the situation. So it's not, you know, one solution for all. So what I'll do is actually go to public. I'm going to create repository. I'm going to create. So, okay, so now you see that it's pretty nice, right? You see that it's a github.com/Justin Han 040 0804, right? So this is nice. At least I'm already started to do the first step, right? So okay, I think what I can do is I can also sort of share that with everybody. So I'm going to give you guys, please do not delete anything, right? But at least I'm going to just let you guys kind of, you can navigate. So this is actually how we can, you know, use a public way of it, right? So again, you know, you can stop me anytime that you get stuck and then you don't know, right? So I created already, right? So also on top of this, right, I am started to see, well, because of this, I'm actually having a, remember I said that at readme I already kind of, you know, have this readme for that already. What I'll do is I'm just going to create a brand new file within this folder, right? Consider this is a folder. Later on, I'm going to introduce a little more complicated concept, right? But assuming this is a folder first, right? So I'm going to add a file. I'm going to call create a file, right? Okay, so now if you see that, right, this is actually github.com Justin Han 0804. I'm going to create new, but because actually this is actually, they don't know what I'm trying to say here, right? So that's why it's new. So don't take it for the final. So now what I'm going to go is, I don't know, or summer, right? Let's do, I'll call summer movie. How about that, right? Well, let me make more fun. I think, you know what, we're almost close to the end of the semester, right? Let's have some fun. I'll call summer movies, right? So I'm gonna just say summer movie, and then what I'll do here, I don't know what is a summer movie. I mean, did anybody watch any good movie you guys want to propose in summer? I don't know. I mean, a while ago, I probably watched, I don't know, some of the Marvel stuff, right? Maybe I'll say first, I'm gonna just say Guardians of I don't know, like what's it called? Guardians Galaxy Volume 3, right? I'll say Volume 3. Okay, I'm gonna say okay. So this is my summer movie, right? This is my first one. Okay, I'm also gonna make sure I can put first line, right? Volume 3. I'm gonna commit changes. And then what I'll do here, again, I'm just creating a new file, but behind the scene, you can start to do your coding, right? So don't let the whole, you know, file thing bother you. I mean, you can kind of imagine that you can just do coding, but this is not specific to Python or R or whatnot. You can do coding, but actually GitHub have a different way to associate with different file, but I think more popular one, you can use Python and R easily. Anyway, So what I'll do is actually I'll commit the message. What's the message? Yeah, create summer movie. Yeah, let's do it. And what I can do is I can commit directly to the main branch, right? So imagine this. We immediately jump to a concept, right? From a folder and create a file. And then I started to put a branch, right? I mean, think about it as a branch, right? So I'm just like, okay, fine. I mean, let's see what's going on. I mean, it's a learning. Let's give it a try, right? Commit change. Aha. So I summer movie, right? Which is great. So I guess also you guys, if I start to click onto it, you're supposed to see that. I hope you can see it. I'm not sure. Maybe I had to add you guys in as a coordinator. So why don't you let me give it a try? Let's see. If you cannot do that, I will start to include everybody, right? So let's see if it works. Okay. Okay, so now next step, right? So what I can do, this is still a silo environment, right? Remember, Justin talked about earlier, the whole idea is not about try to be silo environment, right? Try to be a little more interactive, right? So how do we do that, right? So you go back there, you can start to add more people in your discussion, right? Although I make it public, I can still invite, so people started to look into my stuff, right? So basically, there's a couple way I can do, right? I can actually start to invite individually, or I think from the public. So this is the part that I want to make sure that we all in the same page, right? When we in public, right? I think you should be able to see it. So can anybody see my file so far that I shared the link? Because basically, I think the difference between that is one, you can easy to do it. The other one, you have to invite it as part of the coordinator. Can anybody tell me, are you able to access it to my file I just shared earlier, like the summer movie file? Anyone? Okay. Looks like I can you hear my voice or not at all? I'm sorry. I just want to make sure that I'm not talking on mute.
We can hear you. I
Okay,
can
cool.
hear you.
All right, good. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm worried, but okay. So if you're not able to see the file, that's fine. I guess the easiest way to do is I'm gonna just also invite somebody, right? Maybe what I'll do is if you can kind of send me your name, maybe privately, I'm gonna just kind of include you. Again, I hope that's not something important that your names and stuff, right? I mean, GitHub, it's a public domain. I don't want it to create any. Yeah, if you can send it to me, we can see the file. Okay, good. Okay, great. So what I can do here is I'm gonna move the next step, right? We created the file. Now I'm trying to invite you to be cooperator, right? So let's see. Well, so every time when the moment you wanted to do something, you can go back to the dashboard. The dashboard will kind of listed what exactly that you created. Like for example, here, right? I'm gonna navigate. So basically, this is a couple things you can do, right? This is actually under the coding side of it, right? And then if you see, this is the description, and they have the part README, and then you can see I'm gonna click summer movie, right? So that's exactly where where's the whole interesting part to get started, right? So now you can see, we have issue. I mean, I guess this is actually more for a coding version management. And then we have pull requests. I'm going to talk about it in minutes. And also we have action, right? See exactly what we can do on action. They have different type of application you can add on top of it. And project, I think this is actually we don't use that much. In fact, my own experience, we didn't use that much. We can also add some of the interesting part like documentations and stuff. You can add on to it. Security, we can actually kind of look into it later on because at the end you can kind of set up different security. Inside, you can see how many that we can have, like one author, two commit, right? So you can see exactly what I did, right? So this is actually more like a statistics and stuff, right? So now once you go over here, right, you can see the contribution. Well, right now you don't see much, right? But if you started to do more like a full development of coding, what you realize is you will start to have a lot of stuff interact, right? So that's exactly the part that gets more interesting, right? So now, if you kind of look into it, right, we go back to the setting, we can also change the the name, and then you can also change the stuff inside, right? So there's a lot of good pieces, but I guess maybe the point I'm going to highlight here is do not get confused, right? Because actually a lot of pieces should be pretty interactive, pretty easy, right? So the second assignment, just wanted to show you guys how we can interact, right? I'm gonna just go, if you see, I'm gonna already in this page, right? I'm gonna go to coordinator. I'm gonna start to add people, right? So first of all, I know, for those of you who shine, no problem. If you want to send me via chat privately, I can kind of include you. But meanwhile, I'm gonna have my personal side, Justin Han 1, ready to work together, right? So I'm gonna just go, you can send it to me in the meantime. I'm gonna say Justin Han 1. Okay, it looks like this guy exists. I'm gonna start to invite him. I'm gonna add Justin Han 1 into this, right? Sure. Okay, so once I add that, right, and then what happened is I'm started to invite my buddy, Justin Han 1, to be part of the code, right? So meaning, imagine you are actually in the coding development environment, right? You are started to add somebody to your code to be part of the contributor, right? So this is actually kind of the way how it is, right? So now I invited him, but you know what? I can invite anybody, right? I think this is actually kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know, is it someone called Elon Musk? I can invite him if he has something, anyway, I mean, it's a joke. But the whole point is you're not just invite somebody to join, right? You need to make sure that somebody is responding to you, right? And you don't know whether somebody is responding. So basically what I'll do is I'm going to go to my personal email. I'm going to see whether am I see the invite. So hopefully I can kind of open that up. I can share with you what I actually did, right? So it looks like I got an email. So let me share the email with everybody. It's my personal email. Okay, so what you see on this screen, right? He said Justin Han, which is my Columbia email, invite you to join Justin Han /0408. So now, if everybody see it, it's no longer, well, I mean, although I make it public, so everybody see it, right? But if you see this point, although it's public, I started get invite, so I can start to jump into it, right? I'm gonna say you can accept or decline this invitation. You can also head over to this to check out their file or visit Justin Han to learn more about it. Wow. Okay, looks like everything is transparent now, right? I can accept or decline. And this is exactly what I share, right? You can see what's going on, and also you can see my profiles. Okay, fine. I don't need to see the invite. I'm gonna accept. Why not, right? So now once you accept it, you say, hey, this isn't me, this is them, right? So you can see right away. I'm gonna invite everybody, right? So I'm gonna say, okay, so accept. So you can tell right away, this is already, well, this is a new screen, right? I just share. And this new screen, if you look into this is no longer, Columbia. This is actually my personal. I'm started to using my personal and able to see the whole thing, what's going on there, right? So, okay, so I'm actually showing, so here is actually, in fact, the same thing. So I am actually having two personal personal dashboard and able to see it. So right now, I think this is actually lagging. So what I do is I'm gonna click on that to refresh a little bit. Oops. You know what? I'm not gonna refresh. So basically, maybe I will just gonna replace this because I refresh. It might be something crazy. Okay, so now let me have a little more fun. Meanwhile, please do, if you're trying to interact, you can send me your private. I'm gonna include you there so you can be part of it. You can kind of add the file to continue to do that. So now I'm gonna click summer movie here. I'm gonna start it to modify, right? Assuming we have Justin Han on one side, we have Justin Han 1, his buddy, on the other side. I'm gonna just go ahead and modify, click this. Okay, I'm gonna start at the second movie, right? Okay, I'm gonna also, I saw somebody already, so I'm gonna include later on. Okay, meanwhile, I'm gonna try to brainstorm. The second movie that I watch is a big box office in summer. I don't know what it is. I'm scanning through the internet right now. Oh, okay, I get it. Vin Diesel, Fast X. Okay, so I'm gonna commit change, right? Because actually, imagine I am Justin Han 1. I'm gonna commit change. Okay, so when the moment I commit change, they say, okay, you commit. So you what are you trying to do? You update summer movie, right? I can put additional description. Okay, you know what? I would say Fast X, right? Oh, I don't know. I want to make it a little different. Fast. Uh, okay. So let me see. No, I say, how about this? I like Vin Diesel. Okay, I don't mean it, but okay, fine. Commit changes, right? Uh-huh. So now imagine I'm actually started to do this. And meanwhile, I'm also gonna invite somebody. So I wanna sorry about that. Let me do one more time. Not able to see that. Maybe 1 second. I'm gonna try to make sure I can add some of you guys into a lot of fun. Let's see if that works. Nope, I cannot see it. Maybe it takes some time to refresh. Uh yeah, we need to create a yes, we need to create the question here is do we need to create a GitHub account? Yes. Once you create a GitHub account, I'm gonna open up to you guys. My GitHub account is Justin Han, right? And my personal, well, this is actually my school account. My personal here is Justin Han 1, right? So you need to create GitHub first. If you have a GitHub, I can find you here, right? So anyway, okay. So while we're waiting for you guys to create account, it's okay. Take your time. I mean, I like, it's gonna be very short and fast session today because actually, we have a couple of things to go over so that we get a sense. Anyway, so you see my right hand side of me, I like Randizo, but let's see if I'm able to see it, right? So let me go back there and haha. You see, basically, Justin Han doesn't know what's going on because I committed my changes, right? I committed and I know what's going on, right? So I all of a sudden my summer movie will pops up another one, Fast X, right? If you kind of take a look on the blame, what am I blaming on? Um, see, first I created, Guardian of Galaxy Volume 3, and then I have a second one, um, kind of edit called Fast X, right? I update some movie. If you look into it, I say, hey, I know Justin Han one, my buddy. He say I like Vin Diesel. Look at lot, right? That had all the description. So again, I think about this. This is actually a simulated environment that you started to have the developer develop the original code. You have the other developer kind of add in and then go back there, right? Fine, I think that's no problem. And then let's take a look. I mean, I'm to have more fun, I'm going to add more. So if for those of you keep pumping your name to me, that's fine. I'm going to add you to there so you can kind of add. One of the beauty about this, I mean, I do that for past semester and different seminar. The more that you guys have, the better, because I think you don't have to tell me what you like, what you don't like. You don't tell me about what you actually watch. When the moment you save it, all of a sudden, when the moment I pull the data set, I would see a list of file. I think I did it, once. It's really brilliant. And then the way, if you imagine that, right? I mean, you don't have to tell me. And all of a sudden, I saw, movie just populated to the file, and then we're all gonna have fun with this, right? So let me try one more time. I'm gonna invite everybody. Didn't show up. Strange. Maybe take some time to load. Usually they're pretty fast, I have to say. I don't know what's going on today. Right. Let me do it again. Okay, let's see. Yeah, maybe take some time to load it. I don't know. Usually they're pretty fast. Okay, anyway, I mean, let's continue. I don't want to slow that down, but let's continue to look into my folder, right? So let's go back there. I'm going to show you more, a little more cool stuff. So basically, I'm going to continue to do one more. You see, once I do it here, they'll pops up here, right? And then see exactly how I can interact, right? So I'm thinking about another movie. Okay, fine. I can, I'm actually checked on internet. I have something new, not a fan, but I think this is everybody, the Little Mermaid. I want to make sure I spelled it right. The Little Mermaid is a summer movie. I'm going to commit change. And who doesn't like Disney, right? Okay, now, well, instead of me going commit direct to the branch, which you already learned, right? I can do it 10, 20 times, but doesn't learn much, right? I'm gonna try this time, instead of commit directly to the main branch, I'm gonna create a new branch to see how I can do it. Let's learn a little more, right? Because previously I was actually talking about the main branch, but now if you think about this, think about the branches, right? Think about, you can go, go farther and farther. If you see a little sign here. So let's see, I'm gonna just go ahead, create Justin Hunt patch 1. Okay, I'm gonna see how that works. So where are we? If you see that, I'm gonna also walk you through, right? The base is the main, and then you are able to see Justin Hunt patch 1, which is actually more branches, right? So now they say they open a pull request. Now the change now, you just make right into a new branch called Justin Hunt patch 1. And I need to create a pull request in order to propose the new changes. So now I'm adding a little more color on that, right? This is actually a brand new stuff. And give it a try. I'm gonna write, say, who doesn't like this. Let's see, pull requests. Okay, now if you kind of imagine this, you require approval from a specific wheel before merging, or continue integrate has not been set up. Okay, so this is actually what happened is, imagine I shouldn't do it here. I should do it here. In fact, I think I make a mistake. But imagine I am actually the owner for the code, and I started to add something, and at the end they come back to me, and what we'll see is actually, do you see any particular code? Like, for example, I'm writing in the middle of like first and second movie, and then somebody jammed the third movie, and maybe another one jamming the third movie. They thought they're the third, right? So they might create conflict. So in this case, myself as an owner, I would look into this kind of potential conflict. I'll see what's going on. But normally, GitHub is pretty good. They know for a fact that are we collapsing, right? We are not doing like a very fast real-time situation. So we are not, we don't have any kind of conflict. If you do, what happened is they will actually lock down different versioning within your sub branch, right? I mean, or what we call branch to the other. So now if you see that, all of a sudden, imagine this. I'm a coder. I'm not gonna just keep looking for other guy. I mean, you have the luck to see my left hand side and right hand side, right? But in reality, I only have one screen to do one task at a time. So all of a sudden, I have something pops, like something was going to pop, and then they're asking me to merge the pull request, right? So now I'm starting to mixing and matching the data set now. Well, let's merge it. Okay, so now I'm going to do update, merge the pull request from this to this, right? So confirm the merge. So they said that pull request successfully merge and close, right? So I don't know what's going on. Let's take a look, right? So I'm going to just take a look over here. Take a look at my summer movie. Aha. Wow. Take a look. I create a branch, I branch out, I merge back to my main, right? So if you look into it, right? So this is already say, okay, Justin Hahn, the left-hand side from Columbia side of me, saying, okay, I'm gonna be updating summer movie, right? Aha. And you see that this is actually a brand new topic. Say, who doesn't like Disney, right? Okay, so now, if you see that, I have a very, very interesting small exercise by putting myself a little branch, creating something new, and then merge backward. Then what happened to here, if you see that, right, you're all set. Everything is merged back. So this is what I call a temporary kind of development, right? A temporary development, I develop a little mermaid into the main file, right? And then by doing this, when I finish, let's see, they say I can save to, so let me see if I can delete branch, right? I can delete the branch. Let's see if I delete branch, it's gonna make a difference in my life on this, right? So I deleted already, so no more, but let's see if I'm gonna go click onto it. Am I gonna get removed, My Little Mermaid? No. So that works well, right? Because what happened is when the little branch that I created additional development, and then they checked that they had the due diligence to check that no conflict, that nobody actually messed it up. So they said, okay, fine, merge it. And when I finish it, they just delete it. So this little branch will give you a little more powerful way. It's, I would say, a little buffer so you can see what's going on. But when the moment I finish using that, I don't need it. Then I can delete it, right? So that's pretty neat, right? So now we get a couple of that technique already, right? We actually able to use your account. Let me see if I'm still able to link everybody up, right? Let me give it a try. I'm gonna keep trying. If it works, that's well. If not, then we continue to go. Yeah, I don't know, somehow they didn't. Yeah. Well, but no worry. I mean, at least, you can see left-hand side and right-hand side of me, right? So, okay, let's continue. So now, okay, now we have both like identical. We synced up, and then if you kind of click onto it, right, and then you can see, okay, I have, all the pieces, right? And the good thing about this, if you see, this is more like a version control, right? Although you see the final file here, but in fact, you see who was doing that, when are they doing this, and what exactly was going on, right? And all the pieces that they show up here is actually quite neat. You can see, what's going on. And also some of them, some of them actually focus well enough, you can see, even though they had branches, I think they're actually gone now. I mean, the memory. When the moment I delete, you can restore what you have. So basically, they had a pretty decent, version control, right? So that's kind of brilliant the way how it is, right? So now let's quickly switch to another topic, right? Because now we have some technique about building that up. So let's see if I'm able to do a little more fancy part, right? So give me 1 second. So what I'll do here is, let me also do the checklist. Let me open up my checklist. Okay, so let's kind of go through that together. So the checklist is, we finished creating, GitHub, download the desktop. I'm going to work on the desktop. We're going to create repository, add a file. We can even download a zip file. Later on, I'm going to download a zip file with you guys, right? And then I'm going to add a file share, which we did. We add the coordinator. Yeah, we pull the request, accept pull request. We did it. And, all the pieces we create, repository desktop, and add the file. Okay, now the exercise 3, this is exactly what I'm planning to do, right? It's actually, I'm trying to go interacting the information directly from the cloud directly to your desktop, right? So this is exactly what we're going to do. So what happened is now, besides that, right? Also that I also want to show you one more trick, right? When you have a repository, right? Imagine I'm gonna just do summer movie for 2023, right? Imagine this is my set of code, but next year I'm gonna create another summer movie list for 2024, right? You can always try to clone what you just created, right? But what you can do is you can kind of go to clone this part, right? You can clone a similar part. In fact, think about clone is nothing more than a copy and paste, right? So, but this time I'm going to show you another way to make it more interesting. So now if I'm going to code, which is the green side, code, I'm going to click on open GitHub desktop. Okay, I'm going to open okay, so now they ask you, do you want to open GitHub desktop? I create, well, as you can see, I'm actually creating a lot of different seminar. So basically I have, many desktops. So what I'll do here, let me close it again. I have something that I did it earlier, so I'm going to just quit. I'm going to do it from scratch. I'm going to just do it here. I'm going to open the desktop. If you see that, I'm going to pops up this. So once you open that up, right, then we started to go to your desktop this round. They're gonna say, okay, where are you gonna do it, right? So basically, let me kind of walk you through what's going on here. So they'll go to URL, which is what you already have experience on, github.com, Justin Han 0804. They're gonna take that information, they're gonna drop directly to our local drive, right? If you look into it, I already created, well, that's how nice. I mean, I just have my name, Justin Han. Create this under document. This is actually my Mac, right? I actually have Columbia coding class. Okay, so basically they will mimic. It's class number 12, which I have my way to store in a more organized way. And they just create new folder called 0804, right? So okay, fine. I'm gonna clone this one. So this is actually a clone to desktop, right? So now I'm cloning it. So I need to, once you clone, what you see, this is let me have a quick intro to you guys. This is actually I would call a desktop version of it. So now you started to communicate. This is almost like an interfacing between your web file directly to your local, right? So if you look into this, right, we have this. If you kind of point into it, they actually point to my local folder. And then they also had the similar setting, main branch, sub branch, whatnot, right? Similar to here, this actually had a branch. But right now, if you kind of imagine, right? I mean, you gotta have put a little imagination on that. You need to basically started to look into the folder itself, and then they are isolated from this point on. And then somehow you find your way to make it back, right? Let me show you how. So now I want to see what information in my folder. So I'm going to show in folder. So let me open that up for you. This is my personal PC, very private, my life here, right? So basically what happens, I create literally 9:43 is actually created a minute ago, right? So that README file is not what we created 30 minutes ago. It's not, right? Remember we created a README file in that. It was a long time ago. If you can kind of see the time, the initial commit is not the same. But regardless, let's open up this, right? What is this? Aha. So we have a 3 movie lined up already, right? So I mean, I kind of like this. So this actually you can see from your file finder, right? Or you can kind of sieve that back into your GitHub. But let's do a local file, assuming I'm actually on roll, right? I'm driving, or I'm gonna do work. I'm a mobile programmer. I like to do it offline, and then I want to just merge backward, right? So what I would do here, I'm gonna just keep looking for another summer movie. So let me see. I'm gonna keep developing. Oh, okay. I like that. I actually, this is the movie. In fact, I do watch a couple movie here that I mentioned. Okay, Spider-Man, right? The cartoon version. I said, cause the Spideyverse. Okay. So let me see if I can save it. So basically, I'm gonna save it. File, save. Okay. Aha! Look at that. How great. So once I save it, I exit, you immediately, I don't have to do anything, right? They automatically will show up here. They know you're modifying the file, and they are actually started to, kind of dictate. So I don't know, in fact, the infrastructure behind, right? But it looks like they're monitoring what I did to the file. And once I save it, you saw that, right? Once I save it, I exit out, and then they immediately pop on this screen, right? So now what, right? I'm actually on the roll. I finished watching a movie. I like it. I put the coding. I want to just put back to the main coding page that I have, right? So I'm just going to commit. So I'll say, finish working offline. Need to commit back to main. Okay, so I'm gonna commit, but I still update. You know, I'm saying I'm just gonna updating summer movie. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, now once you click onto it, see what they say. There's no uncommitted change in the repository. Here's some friendly suggestion for you to do next, right? Push commit to the origin remote. You have one local commit waiting to push. Aha. You sort of have, I mean, you sort of appreciate how much that they do, how thoughtful they are, right? Because what happened is they ask you, they kind of sense you make some changes. They say, okay, why don't you push it, right? Okay, fine, I'll push it. You see what happened? You see the fetch and then the push up, right? Well, some of you might follow. Well, let's see the magic. I'm actually keep all the screen happening in one go and see whether the magic happened, right? So it got very messy. So, I mean, you guys can see, right, right away. I'm going to go back. I'm not going to make any. So I'm going to go click over here. It's more like a refresh, right? It's not like real-time refresh. Once you click, they trigger the refresh for you. Aha, take a look, right? So it's amazing because I actually update locally. I'll push. Now, imagine this, right? I'm not lying. Every pieces that you see, if you are able to monitor my file, right? The file was updating automatically. When I click on blame, you see this is actually a minute ago. I'm pushing that back, right? So what I locked it, okay, I finished working offline. I need to commit it back to the main. Okay, now you see my coding getting bigger and stronger, right? Because at the end, this is exactly what's going on. But then some of you might ask, wait a minute, so what about, am I able to pull that back to local then? I don't know. We can give it a try. In fact, I don't remember I ever did that, but who knows, right? Oops. Oh, where's my file? Let me pull back my file. So right now I have this file, right? I don't know whether I'm going to do some magic going on, see whether I can push the stuff in the file. I think I can. Oh, no, I don't have to ask the question because what happened is we did it once. We can do it again, right? We can make it and we can just go to the desktop to pull it, right? So let's give it a try. If it doesn't work, maybe I missed a step. I'm going to close this file. I'm going to go back to my summer movie again. I'm going to keep looking another new movie. Oh, okay. In fact, this is a big boxer too. So it's a transformer. What do they call again? Rise of the Bees. Oh my God. Okay, Rise of the Bees. Okay, so now I'm going to commit change. Okay, this time. Okay, so I mean, again, we learned the trick. We commit directly to mention fine. I'm going to commit it first. No big deal, right? We know the trick. But I'm going to see whether I'm able to pull anything down there, right? So let's see. I'm going to fetch origin. Aha. Pull one committed from the origin remote, right? The current branch name has a committed on GitHub that does not exist on the machine. Aha. So this is exactly what it is. So again, you will start to really enjoying it because you know what? I'm going to pull. I don't know what to expect. And then you see the timeline. It's almost telling you that, you know, what was going on, right? Let's open that up. Voila. Transformer, Rise of the Bees, right? So you can tell right away, although I'm actually go back to office, I pull back. Whatever office happened, I'm just going to keep my local here. And then anything they change, they will let me know, right? So this is actually another layer of, oh my God, I think I had the wrong spelling. Transformer. Okay, it's embarrassing. Sorry. Again, maybe, did I really transfer it? Yeah, I think I spelled it wrong. Okay, transformer. Okay, whatever I spelled wrong, transformer, and then I'll pull back here. Okay. So that's a couple things. Well, I can give it another try to see whether I can pull back, right? So number one, I'm gonna fix my mistake. I didn't watch Transformer. I'm gonna watch Transformer. So let's see. So assuming I have typo for my code, right? Am I able to do that? I'm gonna fix all in one go. I'm gonna pick another movie. Okay, I think we're gonna get bored. We watch so many movies. Maybe Indiana Jones or maybe Mission Impossible. Okay, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. But by the way, I'm not associated with all those, movie. Okay, so don't, it's not advertisement, so don't worry about it. Okay, I exit out. I save it. So let's see. Yep, I just save it. So let's see. Do they dictate? Aha. So take a look. I'm actually, if you see that, I'm changing. I'm not watching Transformer anymore. I'm actually watching Transformer. On top, I'm going to also watch Indiana Jones, right? I'm going to fetch origin. And let's see, do I have any changes? I'm going to click onto it. Not yet. I'm still having a Transformer. So what's going on there? So let's go back there. Oh, because I forget to commit to the main, right? I can choose to commit to the main or not, right? Fixed it, the typo, and watch another old school movie, commit and push. So now you see that it's very clear the way how we do it. We're gonna push, right? So you can see I make mistake, and then let's see if my mistake actually will come back and So now I no longer watch Transformer. I'm watching Transformer and I watch Indiana Jones, right? So that's kind of really the way how that, back and forth go. But obviously, I mean, I wish everybody can interact. It will take longer time, but it will be more fun. But now you can see this is actually more a triangle, right? I have worked two individually and I can actually map down my local folder, push up, pull back down, right? So do one more exercise because actually this is exactly what I really want everybody to get familiar with, right? So, well, but you keep seeing that. Wait, Justin Han just keep contributing. What happened to the other guy? So I'm going to try the other guy. Let's see if that works, right? I forgot about it. I almost forgot about I should have tried different guy to do the input, right? Oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? Looks like there's a lot of changes. Okay. I'm going to go click on here. I'm going to look back here. Okay, we have new stuff. So let's commit one more. As I mentioned, that I want to talk about Mission Impossible. So I think nowadays that the movie name is quite long. I really have to kind of make sure I don't spell it wrong. Even though Transformer, I already watched another movie called Transformer. Okay, Mission. I don't know. I'm going to type up Impossible. Sorry if I'm SPOSSIBLE, whatever they call that, reckoning. Oh my god. Oh gee. I don't intend to do a typo, by the way. But you can see, if you might typo, it's gonna work, right? So okay, I'm gonna commit changes. Okay, I can commit the new branches, right? Again, I like to make it more fancy, propose change. But in the meantime, one thing I can do is I'm gonna also do watch another movie, right? I'm gonna just try to do that and then kind of create a little conflict, right? So I'm gonna also add that 7. I'm not gonna put Mission Impossible. I'm gonna watch Barbie. My God. And also I'm gonna commit it another one, right? Obviously everybody know Barbie and Oppenheimer, right? I think we had a very interesting dynamic nowadays. Oppenheimer. So, okay, I did not commit anything yet. So let's give it a try, right? See exactly if they can resolve. I'm going to commit changes in the same time. I'm going to commit main branch. Okay, so this is the difference. I'm actually committing to the sub branch and I'm going to commit to the main branch, or maybe I'm going to just go ahead and build it to another branch, right? So let's see propose changes. I think now it become very messy, right? I'll see which one come first and which one we're gonna agree, right? So I'm gonna create pull requests. See, the branch has no conflict. Why? Because actually this is not, well, this is actually confusing. I think they might have conflict. So let's take a look, right? There's a lot of way you can do it, but you know, we don't have to get fancy. We can just create pool merge and confirm merge. And then this time I'm gonna say update. This time I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Bobby plus everybody talk about that, you know, so that we know exactly Oppenheimer confirm merge. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to the main. So this is already go to the sub branch, right? So let's see. I'm gonna go summer movie. Okay, now we are actually having Barbie Oppenheimer, right? But then what happened to my Mission Impossible, right? I thought that I watched Mission Impossible. I mean, they jammed that. So basically, this one took over, they merged or whatnot, right? So let's see if I can pull request. They don't have anything. So I'm looking for my branches. What happened? Right? I did commit it. You saw that. Or maybe I didn't commit it. So let's take a look. Yeah, looks like that. I think, did anybody recall, did I commit it? Maybe I'm not. Maybe not. Okay. So maybe I'm gonna do it one more time. Let's see if I'm gonna add. So let's take a look. Main. Yeah, only pops up here. Okay. So I think that's kind of all the trick I want. So I think I have most of the checklist. So let me show you guys one more time. Based on the outline. So we finish this. We have desktop. Um, and then yeah, so now okay, after finishes, right? I mean, this is actually we finished a whole exercise already today. So basically, I think that's most of the information that we want to share. Also, one more thing I wanted to share is actually, let me kind of go to everybody. Let me copy over. So basically, there is a way you can see there's a lot of example using you know, like the Shiny. So basically, you can see we started to have a lot of sharing. The good thing about GitHub is they can make it public, as I show you, right? You can go to like R Studio, like all the R code that you learned a couple of weeks ago. You can kind of pull the stuff in there, and then we can use it like a cloud-based kind of storage, right? Also, people started to use a lot of time to share, right? So which is a pretty neat idea. Not only this, right now, I actually, as I mentioned, I'm gonna at the end will show you about some of the security, right? Because at the end, I want everybody to make sure that they know exactly how to go about it. So now we have repository. We go over here, right? What we can do here, if you look into this, right, we can download the whole entire pieces. We can download the zip, so we can actually the whole thing, they zip it. So basically, your coding and what you can do it. And then the other pieces is actually you don't look for the setting, right? So what I'll do here, unfortunately, we actually go to the end of it that we will have to delete the whole entire thing, right? I'm going to show you how to do that, which is fine. I guess it's a good journey. You know, we have fun to kind of do this kind of coding. So what we'll do is actually go to setting. No, I'm sorry. So go back to here. I'm going to go back to, this is my page, right? So let me try to see. There is a way. So there is a way to do that. So that's two way we can do that. So number one, desktop. That's a main page. Hold on. Sorry about that. So I want to make sure I'm showing the right thing. GitHub. So sorry about that. 1 second. Oh, Is it really what it is? Sorry about that. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I'm missing a Mission Impossible one. Anyway, so let me go back there. I don't want to distract everybody. Sorry. So now if you go to here, right? I think you can kind of go to the bottom of it. They call something danger zone. So the danger zone, exactly how you gotta maneuver your flow folder, right? So basically what you can do is if you finish the whole development, you don't really like that, or you either like it or not, you can either archive it or you can delete it, right? So at the end, yeah, let's kind of delete this. And then they ask you, okay, how many people are doing this? And this Justin Han 0804 is that I want to delete the repository. So is that unexpected bad thing will happen if you don't read this? Okay, fine, let's read it. This will permanently delete Justin Han slash 0804, right? Wiki issue. So remember what I showed earlier, all the packages, documentation, all the pieces, they are going to destroy, right? And then I have read and understand this effect. So basically all the stuff that we did today, forget about all the history, all the fun stuff we've been through, it's going to be all gone, right? But obviously there's a lot of different pieces. If for those of you actually who are more savvy look into it, you can kind of set it up. In fact, some experience that I have, I'm helping the other classes to do some auto grading so that you can see that we actually loaded some of the answer, and then you can use GitHub to kind of interact and then see how they load it. But that was a lot of fun part, right, that we do. So I mean, yeah, that's very capable. So it's the whole sharing thing, but just want to make sure that, yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can kind of work onto it. So I have read and understand. Oh, when you click that, they still don't let go, right? They say to confirm, you're gonna type that. Okay, fine. Everybody witnessed that, right? So after this point on, and the reason why I want to do this is actually I'm gonna ask you guys to go take a look at it again, right? In the web space. I'm gonna delete this. It's no more. So if you kind of click that, that should be it, right? I mean, that should not give you any other um link, right? I mean, if you still can get the link, I think there's a bug on that, right? That's kind of it. I hope today is a short session, and I hope that like you guys at least to learn, play around with the desktop, or get familiar with GitHub. And again, industry use quite a bit. However, I do want to emphasize, depends on what industry. Some using GitHub, some using Git Bash. It all depends on what actual preferences, but the idea using Git is the same. Okay, so I don't think I have anything I missed. I just wanted to make sure if you have any question or problem, please do let me know. You can reach me at justin.han@columbia.edu. I wish you guys have good day. And then next week, final part, it will be a sequel. Okay, so I will, well, it won't be me. I don't remember it's gonna be me, but I mean it will be my colleague. My friends will they will try to host a session. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you everybody for your time. Thank you.
It's not the absolute best. I try and not do this. I don't. I've been streaming for 280 days. And this has happened about like 2 or 3 times. It's. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I know. Stop.
手元に貼があるのなら拙者が草笛で一曲奏でよう。
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm good. Yo, stop. Okay, stop.
これほど美しき景色を見ればおのずと旅がしたくなるものであろう。